Email me as always, Todd at ToddHuffShow.com, Facebook.com/ToddHuffShow. If you want to watch the program live or on demand, as long as our friends at Facebook allow us to do this, YouTube as well, I guess, until they take us down permanently. Again, if you are a listener on YouTube, encourage you to download the podcast because it is a matter of time before they permanently take us down there. Because we've talked about election integrity. Oh, my goodness. Got to be stopped. Anyway, welcome to the program. I want to start today. I want to talk today about Trump's CPAC speech. And I don't know if you've seen the whole thing, if you've seen part of it, if you've caught clips. But I think it was absolutely fantastic. And it's, a reminder that we've not had this for, Trump's basically been off the scene now for 5-6 weeks, whatever it is. And this is a force of nature that the Democrats are afraid of. They're terrified of this. They are terrified of President Donald J. Trump running and winning re-election. And it is no surprise, folks, no surprise that they fear this because he totally it was awesome. I thought that the speech was fantastic. He framed what is going on very well. He energized and spoke to the base in ways that connects. I mean, it's just a phenomenal thing. It's an amazing thing to watch happen. And I have to tell you, as I was watching this, I was thinking, what must it feel like to be Joe Biden? Now, on the one hand, you can say, well, Biden can sit there and mock Trump. Biden can say, I won and you didn't. But on another hand, and don't doubt this, don't diminish this part of liberalism. But how does it feel to be Joe Biden? Because his party didn't really want him. Remember back in the primaries, they had, 609 candidates up on stage. None of them were really doing well. Bernie Sanders was the statistical favorite to win the nomination at one point. In fact, I think on 538, Nate Silver's group, they had it at one point. I mean, the odds of him winning, of Bernie Sanders winning the nomination were quite high. I know it was over 50%. I think it was even in the 70s. But anyway, I could be wrong on that, but it was high. And the establishment part of the Democrat Party, the party that's not out and out, just ready and willing to run a straight socialist on the ticket, they got together and they said, look, we've got to figure out a way to stop this guy because there is nobody on that stage because we're splitting the support amongst from those who remain as the non-socialists, as much as that exists in the Democrat Party today. But those who are not openly socialists, we've got too many people split here. And so we've got to kind of coalesce. We've got to kind of circle around one candidate. And that's when the power brokers, this was after South Carolina, but before Super Tuesday, they began making their phone calls. The secret powers of the Democrat Party, the ones that bring in the big money. And yes, there's plenty of big money in the Democrat Party, even though the talking points, the media, the talking heads would have you believe that the Republican Party is the party of big money. Of course, there's money on both sides, but the party of big money is predominantly the Democrat Party. Look at who all these corporations, look at how all these corporations begin to sing the song of the radical left. Who are the ones who are walking the politically correct line in today's society? Is it small business or is it corporate America? I'll leave that to you to decide. But anyway, they walk that line along with the Democrat Party. So his party didn't want him, but they realized this was the only chance that they had to stop a re-election of President Donald J. Trump. Then, once he was the nominee, America really didn't want him. Now, on the one hand, you could say that President Trump lost to Joe Biden. And I know there's questions people have about that, but we can't talk We can't talk about any of that. We can't talk about any of the issues that we saw, any of the affidavits that we heard talked about in the various states in the days after the election. We can't talk about any of that. That'll get us in trouble. But it is a real concern of people. Now, to the degree to which it impacted the election is another story. That is open board discussion. But the idea that nothing happened that was inappropriate in the 2020 election is patently absurd, and ignoring it only encourages more of it. Anyone with half a brain understands this. It doesn't mean that it was stolen. It doesn't mean anything other than we can't have a repeat of 2020 in multiple ways, from the things that we had seen happen, allegedly, where Republicans weren't allowed. You know all the stuff. The poll workers were not allowed to have meaningful access to counting, and they were kicked out, and ballots allegedly have some things happening there, some questions about those things. You can't have that in an election. Even if none of that turns out to be the case, you can't have people thinking that. And so you got to make sure, as an elected official, that you ensure that the elections are held with the highest levels of integrity and transparency. That we cannot have a repeat. We also cannot have a repeat of the stupidity that happened on the Capitol Hill grounds in January. Cannot have that as well. So, but we're not allowed to talk about this. So anyway, take that as you will. But America didn't really want Joe Biden. Even those who voted for Biden, a big chunk of those, in fact, I believe it's even a majority from polling that I've seen, didn't so much vote for Biden, they voted against Donald J. Trump. Think about this. Now we've got Kamala Harris, Vice President of the United States, in many capacities already acting, well, at least in some capacities, I'll be fair here, some capacities already acting as though she's President of the United States. Heck, you even heard Biden during the campaign talk about this being a Harris-Biden administration. Remember this on multiple occasions. Kamala Harris was introduced by people during speeches calling her the next President of the United States. Now we have reports of her taking calls with foreign leaders. And so it's clear that Biden's party did not want him to be president. America, even though he has won the electoral vote, Americans still were not so much voting for Biden as much as they were, those who voted for Biden, they were voting against Trump. Polling tells us that. Heck, the campaign tells us that. Trump's speech yesterday talked about that. Talked about we don't even know what Biden's doing things he never talked about in the campaign. Here we are just weeks into his administration. He's already doing things that he didn't tell us he was going to be doing. Nonetheless, I tried to raise those, Trump says, during the campaign. No one paid attention because we got a fake news media, says President Trump. So we've got his party not wanting him. We've got America not really wanting him. We've got Kamala already acting as though she is president. And we've got more Americans interested in what Trump says at CPAC than anything else Biden and his administration are doing. Now, I can hear people saying, so what? Biden's president, Trump's not. And that's this is a very legitimate point. Biden has power. Trump doesn't. Trump has influence. I'll say this. Trump has influence. I'm not sure Biden has influence. Biden has power. Trump has a group of people, and we saw many of them at the CPAC speech. Trump has a group of people that are eagerly desiring to follow him. Biden has the power. Now, power is a necessary part of executing your agenda, right? There's no doubt about it. There is no doubt about it. But Trump still has the power. The base still wants Trump. You've seen these straw polls. Almost 70%, or no, almost, was it 70%? Almost 70% of people at CPAC wanted Trump to run for the nomination again. 55% said that they would vote for him again, even today if it was 2024. Over half of the people at CPAC. And if you look at the people who came in second and third, Kristi Noem, Ron DeSantis, I think DeSantis was second, Noem was third, I believe, in the straw poll. These are people who were Trump supporters. These are people that are saying and doing many of the same things that Trump was doing. In fact, Donald Trump Jr. is even on that list of people that people at CPAC wanted to see as potential presidential candidates or nominees in 2024. And so I know that Biden has the power. I get that. I know that Biden beat Trump. I know that this is supposed to humiliate Trump, and this is supposed to be the death of Trump, and Trump's never going to be able to show his face in the light of day ever again. That's the way that this is portrayed amongst the left and amongst the Democrat Party. But let me say this, and I'm going to take a break here in a second, but let me say this. For those who don't understand just how much arrogance is a fundamental component of liberalism. It's what it means. It's part of the mindset of the left. To be a part of the radical left, a fundamental aspect of that is to be arrogant. In other words, this is why they think that we need them. They believe that they must have power to basically save us from ourselves. We're a bunch of dopes, hayseed hicks, a bunch of hillbillies who have no idea what's going on planet Earth, would it not be for the likes of the radical left. And so they have to have that power, and they believe they must have it because they are better. I'm telling you right now, they believe that they are better, they are smarter, they are better equipped to make decisions, not just for this nation, but to make decisions or to force you into making decisions that are best for you as well. Oh, yes, what you need to eat, what you need to drive, what you should probably wear, the words that you should say, the words that you should listen to. You see people want to ban CPAC. Trending on Twitter today is CPAC Nazis. CPAC Nazis. People have no idea the words that they are talking about, what they're used, the definitions of things. They just throw them around blindly. But the radical left, in order to be a member of the radical left, you must have a condescending arrogance. And so when you're a member of the radical left, as Biden is, look, I know that that people try to portray Biden as some sort of a centrist, as a moderate. Just look at what he's done here in 5 weeks. And Trump talks about that, and we'll play some of these clips. But you look at what he's done to the culture. You look at what he's done to the rule of law with immigration. You look at what he's done with, as Trump says, no longer is it America first, it's America last. Trump talks about how he's, not only did he, get back and say to the Paris Accord or to the World Health Organization, he did so without even leveraging that, the fact that we were out of those things to get a better deal. Spending the most money he possibly can to do those things. Trump says that's stupid business practices. But they are arrogant, they are condescending, and to have this much attention placed on someone who's not in the White House, who holds no power, believe me, it keeps them up at night. It terrifies them. This is why you still hear folks talking not just about impeachment of President Trump, but taking up other actions to prevent him from ever running for public office again. They are terrified of the prospect of President Trump running in 2024. They are terrified. They see what connection he has to the American people, to his voter base anyway, right? Some hate him and some love him. Some believe firmly in what he's standing for and are willing to vote for him the next time he's on the ticket for anything. They will walk through proverbial hell, my friends, to go and cast that ballot. And I think many of you fall into that category as well. So I'm going to take a quick time out. When we get back, I want to play some sound bites from last night's CPAC speech, President Donald J. Trump rallying the crowd. It was something, if you haven't seen it in its totality, I encourage you to do that. We'll have Pedals posted a link here later today where you can see the entire thing, but we'll play clips of it here on the other side of the break. You get to sit tight in the meantime. You're listening to Conservative Not Bitter Talk. I'm your host, Todd Huff, back here in just a minute.
Enrollment in Todd's Conservative Not Bitter University is now open. For a limited time, save $10 on Todd's first course, A Christian's Guide to Being a Patriot. For more information or to enroll, visit conservativenotbitter.com. Sponsored in part by Workforce Chaplains. Could your business or organization benefit from the services of a professional team of chaplains? Meet the needs of your employees and foster an excellent work environment with Workforce Chaplains. For more information, visit workforcechaplains.com today.
The printing industry has changed a lot since we opened for business in 1931, but what our clients expect from us really hasn't changed. Quality print, fast turnaround, and competitive prices. We've learned a lot at Moeller Printing over 86 years and 3 generations. Why not put that experience to work for you? Call 317-353-2224 and mention discount code RADIO to receive 10% off your first order. Call Moeller Printing at 317-353-2224.
Corin Homes is expanding their 55-plus community. Briar Creek is the only senior manufactured home community in Indianapolis featuring Indiana-built homes. Floor plans and finishes starting at $75,000. Enjoy affordable, low-maintenance lifestyle with the charm of a residential neighborhood. Located minutes from I-465 in Fort Harrison State Park. Corin Homes, family-owned and operated since 1955. Check us out at COHRONhomes.com. Mention the Todd Huff Show and receive a $1,000 discount on your new home.
Hey Indianapolis, by now you've probably heard about Jody Dowdle with Midwest Tax Group. Jody and his team are experts at helping you prepare your personal or small business tax returns. You can count on Midwest Tax Group to get every deduction possible and work for your higher refund. And not just on this year's taxes, they'll check your prior returns for any tax savings you may have missed for free. Are you behind on filing your returns? They can file past due returns and help negotiate with the IRS too. They complete most tax returns within a week and charge an affordable flat fee, no hourly billing. And as their client, you can consult with the team at Midwest Tax Group year-round at no charge. Midwest Tax Group has 4 office locations in Castleton, Greenwood, Plainfield, and Greenfield, with evening and weekend appointments available. Schedule your appointment today at 317-288-5260. That's 317-288-5260. Or visit their website at mwtaxgroup.com. Midwest Tax Group can help you more than any piece of software ever could.
When life is hard for the women you care about, there is help with issues such as widowhood, anxiety, depression, or abuse. They don't have to go through it alone. Peace Restored is there to walk with women through the journey. Peace Restored helps women through free mentoring, counseling, and education. When life is hard, Peace Restored is there to help women you care about find hope and healing. To learn more, visit peacerestored.net.
Hi, this is Caleb with Gluff Plumbing. Does your home need some plumbing updates? Gluff Plumbing is your solution. We specialize in updating old plumbing, everything from water heaters to well pumps, to underground leaks and everything that has to do with water entering and leaving the home, including water and sewer main excavations. We pride ourselves on old-fashioned customer service. Call Gluff Plumbing at 765-721-6789 or visit gluffplumbing.com. That's GLUFF plumbing.com. Call us today.
The compassion of Christ. It's living life connecting to the broken and messy world. It's not simply walking down the street and dropping a quarter in someone's bucket. It's been perverted by Satan from biblical compassion to feeling sorry for, and sympathy isn't where God wants us to live. It's connecting to broken people in our daily life. Living the compassion of Christ.
Are you concerned about your investments? Intrepid Financial has been educating, customizing, and servicing Hoosier investment portfolios since 1998. Our family-owned and operated business builds strong bonds with our clients. When you call, we answer the phone, always ready to walk you through your investment strategy. Intrepid means without fear. We want our clients to be fearless, to feel secure with their investments. Give us a call at 317-818-1776 or visit us online at intrepidfinancial.com.
come back, I want to mention here the program is brought to you in part by our friends at Spur of the Moment Creations. Spur of the Moment Creations creates hand-poured candles and melts that are made here locally in Fishers, just on the north side of Indianapolis. And for more information, to see all that you can find there, different fragrances and so forth, spurofthemomentcreations.com, spurofthemomentcreations.com, and we'd like to thank them for helping be a part of bringing this program to you. So, I want to say this really quickly too, I'm going to hold that off. All right, let's get into Trump's speech, Trump's CPAC speech. This clip is a couple minutes long, so hang in there, but I think you'll find it worth it. This is perhaps the part that terrifies the left the most, where he hints at running again in 2024. This is about 13, 14 so minutes into the speech before he gets to this part. And this is the part, folks. They don't like some of the stuff that he says. They don't like being held accountable. They don't like having someone have a big microphone exposing some of the lunacy that we're being exposed to. They don't like, again, to be exposed in these circumstances. But what terrifies them the most isn't even any of those things. What terrifies them most is the prospect of President Trump running for re-election in 2024. Here is his lead up and announcement. I did not edit any of the cheering, applause, any of that stuff. This is all the natural response of the audience at CPAC last night. Here you go.
The Biden administration is now actively expediting the admission of illegal migrants, enabling them to lodge frivolous asylum claims, and admitting them by the thousands and thousands and thousands a day, crowded together in unsanitary conditions despite the ongoing economic and public health crisis, COVID-19, or as I call it, the China virus. There's no masks. There's no double masks. That was a new one that came out 2 weeks ago. First, Fauci said, you don't need masks, no good, no. Then all of a sudden he wanted, now he wants double masks. No social distancing, no nothing. They're together, and it's sad, actually, and it's sad for them, and it's sad for our country. What the Biden administration is doing to push young migrants into the hands of human traffickers and coyotes is dangerous, immoral, and indefensible. Hard to believe it's happening. Biden has failed in his number one duty as chief executive, enforcing America's laws. This alone should be reason enough for Democrats to suffer withering losses in the midterms and to lose the White House decisively 4 years from now.
Crowd's already anticipating here. On their feet, chanting USA. Four more years.
Actually, as you know, they just lost the White House, but it's one of those.
Uh-oh. Better take this down.
But
Twitter,
who knows?
YouTube.
Who knows? I may even decide to beat them for a third time, okay? Beat them for a third time.
Oh, they love it. Standing, applauding, jumping. And folks, that is what they fear most. They fear a 20. I cut off the cheering. The cheering goes on for some time. Again, as I said last segment, 55% of people at CPAC would vote for President Trump in 2024 if they were given the chance to do so today. 68%, I think it was, near 70% wanted to at least see him run for the nomination. Those that were not named Trump not named Trump as people that the participants of the attendance at CPAC would like to see run for president. Those not named Trump that they wanted to see potentially as president included people that were Trump supporters, like Ron DeSantis, Kristi Noem. Didn't see Mitt Romney up there. I didn't see Adam Kinzinger up there. Liz Cheney. Didn't see any of their names. Talk about people that have alienated their base. They have done so in a mighty and dramatic way. But this is what the left fears. And this speech, I'm telling you, was, if you haven't seen it, I encourage you to watch it as much as you can in its entirety, because it was good. It compares and contrasts. It's easy to quickly get caught up into the new narrative, into the new reality, into the new way that a president is treated, into the new way that executive orders are being written left and right, that have undone what was put into place, as much as executive orders can do that, from the previous administration. We had a president that was embracing things that conservatives have been clamoring for my entire life. And some of those folks, even though they were seeing conservative principles and values as far as legislation was concerned, could not see past the man who was out there fighting and articulating for them. And he wasn't doing so in an ideological sense. He was doing so from a common sense perspective, from a perspective of how you would run just your business or your everyday life. It doesn't make sense to do this or that, or spend this money for that, or why are we giving so much money to the World Health Organization, or why are we on the hook for so much more than at the Paris Climate Accords? Why does China get to do some things and we don't, and we've got to basically pay for that? Why are we more accountable? Why are we carrying the burden of effectively the whole world in some instances? Why? Democrats get into office, it's all about getting things back to normal, not asking those questions, basically paying people as much as they want to be a part of whatever they tell us that we should do, foreign countries, groups like the WHO, what have you. It's about just getting, this is how they say America's image is reinstated in the world today, by going back to the same stupid, broken ways. And you see this on display in so many ways, right? You see people that are now flocking to the southern border because they believe they're going to be able to get into this country via catch and release or whatever. They're going to be determined to be citizens at some point. People believe this, and so they're flocking here. And I don't blame people for wanting to be here. In fact, what's interesting to me is if you listen to the way that the left describes this country, I cannot understand why one person would want to come here if you saw this country through the eyes of the radical left. Yet people flock here because of what this nation was founded upon, even though people don't always understand that. People don't understand that who live here. People just, this is our reality. But our reality is our reality because of the sacrifices that were made by those that had gone before us. The belief in liberty, the belief that we are citizens and not subjects, the belief that we are created in the image of God and that we have our own rights, and those rights are not given to us by government. The ability to make our own decisions and choices and to live accordance with our own conscience. But those things are all under assault today because of Biden, because of Democrats in the House of Representatives, because of Democrats in the Senate, and dare I say because of Republicans as well. Weak-kneed Republicans who are afraid to stand up for principle, some that have watered down their messaging so much that they just as well may be Democrats themselves. And I've got to take a time out. You're listening here to the home of conservative, not better talk. I am your host, Todd Huff, back here in just a minute.
Listen to Todd's show on your way to work, but want to hear more? Don't miss a beat. Visit toddhuffshow.com/listen to catch the program anytime, anywhere.
Hey Indy, Sid here with Kill a Dent Removal. We specialize in a paint-free repair process known as PDR. Our certified master technicians remove dents and dings of all shapes and sizes, including hail damage, with zero body fillers, zero painting, and zero diminished value. Most repairs are completed the same day, many even while you wait. Check us out at killadentremoval.com. And remember folks, Don't paint your car. Go PDR.
All right, here we go. $100 down, $200 back at $300.
I went to my first firearms auction a few years ago. It was hosted by TJ Freege, one of my good friends from high school, who is a champion auctioneer and one of the best in the business. In spite of objections from liberal legislators, I walked away with a .22 rifle and a few boxes of ammunition. And I had a great afternoon with my grandpa that I won't soon forget. If you've ever wondered what treasure you could find in an auction, visit FreegeAuctioneers.com and take a look at their upcoming Central Indiana auction schedule. That's Freege, Freije, auctioneers.com. Visit FreegeAuctioneers.com.
Hi, I'm TJ Freege, owner and lead auctioneer at Freege & Freege Auctions and Marketing. I invite you to come see the power of live auctions. It's fast, it's fun, it's transparent, and it's the absolute best way to ensure you get fair market value for your asset today. Get results, go auction.
Do you use the expensive blue or yellow pills to charge your sex life? Are you thinking about it? What if we can promise you the same results for less than $3 a pill? If you're paying $20 a pill for the other pills, you're getting taken to the cleaners. Our pills deliver the exact same results for less than $3. You'll save more than $16 a pill for the same results. And right now, radio callers will get 44 blue or yellow pills for $120 with free discreet shipping. You can save more than $700 off pharmacy prices. Charge your sex life now and save a ton of money. Call now and get your 44 pills and save over $700 and qualify for free shipping. Stop overpaying and call right now.
800-764-9168. 800-764-9168. 800-764-9168. That's 800-764-9168.
Fireplaces can be beautiful and even essential in heating some homes. But did you know they could be dangerous to your family if not properly maintained? Chimneys need to be cleaned and inspected annually. My family and I had Smalling Masonry inspect ours. They are friendly, informative, on time, and helped us use our wood-burning stove more efficiently. Call Christian-owned Smalling Masonry today at 317-903-8121 and mention my name, Todd Huff, for a 15% off chimney inspection and sweep.
This is the sound of your typical do-it-yourselfer in completely over his head.
For heating, plumbing,
and electrical done right.
Call Mr. Quick. Call Mr. Quick. Dial the number, spell the words. For on time.
Hi, this is Kenton with Christian Community Connect. We're a network of business professionals that are committed to living out our faith in the marketplace by preferring one another in love while serving everyone. With online listings at $27 per month, if you're a Christian in business, committed to treating others as you would want to be treated, we would love to include you. Check our reviews and sign up at ChristianCommunityConnect.com.
Welcome back. You know, last night in his speech, Trump hit at the preferred way that Democrats prepare, or I guess Democrats prefer, I should say, to legislate, to create new laws and so forth, and that is via executive order. It's amazing. It's amazing to me when you look at this. Congress, although they did just pass, you see this? They just passed the legislation for COVID relief. Again, relief package number 609, I believe we're on now. Average American family, $1,400 per person. If you make, I think it's under $150,000 married. $1,400 per person, including dependents, including now not just minor dependents, but adult dependents as well. So a family of four, an average family of four making, I think, under $150,000 will get $5,600 from this, if this passes the Senate, which I believe that it will. It's hard to say because it just takes a vote or two to make a difference now. But anyway, they don't like to do the legislation because of all this. A, it puts those folks on the record. B, there's just a couple of votes that can decide this. They don't like to do that. They like to rule by fiat. This, again, it goes back to what I was saying earlier. They think that they're smarter than the rest of us. Why should they even have to get a majority? They should just have the right to tell the rest of us what to do, and we should shut up and get in line, fall into place. President Trump yesterday at CPAC talking about some of Biden's orders and questioning why none of this was discussed. Of course, we all know why, but pointing out the absurdity here that none of this was discussed prior to the election in November. Here he is.
Border security is just one of the many issues on which the new administration has already betrayed the American people. He didn't talk about this stuff. I debated him. He wasn't talking about this. He wasn't. What he signed with those executive orders, they weren't things that were discussed. We didn't know all about him in the press because they're fake news. They're the biggest fakers there are. But the press refused to ask the questions. And when I asked the questions on television, on the debate, Chris Wallace in this case and others refused to let him answer. They refused to let him answer the questions. Maybe we could have found something, or if the media did its job, which they don't. Their callous indifference to working families is equally clear when it comes to the critical matter of getting America's children back to school.
I don't want to get to that just yet, the getting back to school situation. Well, that's a separate topic. He was flowing from one to the other, but he's right here. He's right here. There were no questions. In fact, Biden hid in his basement. It sounds made up, but it is absolutely 100% true. Biden hid in his basement during the campaign. Historians are going to look back at this election and they're going to think, what on earth did the American people allow to happen here? Now, on the one hand, you could say Biden's been in Washington, D.C. for nearly half a century, so Americans should know what they're getting. And we talked about Biden prior to the election. We talked about what he believed, who he really was. We talked about the idea that Biden's just this gentle, old, kind, grandfatherly figure versus, look, folks, Biden, throughout his political history, Biden was not a high-quality kind of guy. I mean, you can go back through and even look at his previous presidential runs. There's a lot of things. I don't want to get into those at the moment. I don't want to get into those. But he's like the typical politician in a lot of ways. He's a lifetimer. Does part of you not wonder how someone can survive in the D.C. environment for 50 years? 50 years. Trump calls it the swamp. You know that it is a filthy, disgusting place that we've allowed to fester and to become this mess, this disaster, this out of control, just cancerous part of the American society. That's what Washington, D.C. has become. He's been a part of that for 50 years, nearly half a century. Not quite, but darn close. Really, really close. So on the one hand, you could say Americans should know, but the folks, people have been protecting the radical left and Democrats their entire existence. The average person doesn't know the things that Biden really wants to do or the people in his administration really want to do. Look at the nominees he's making. Javier Becerra, he is a radical pro-communist leftist. Javier Becerra wouldn't even speak out against the ills that the Cuban dictator, Fidel Castro, placed upon his people. Wouldn't even call for free elections, fair elections. I mean, these seem to be obviously straightforward and simple things to do, but this was back when he was a member of the House of Representatives in the late 90s. But look at what he did to the state of California. Now, there's plenty of people with proverbial blood on their hands in the state of California, the People's Republic of California. But this is, on the one hand, we should have known, but the average person didn't know because, candidly, for many people who cast their votes in the 2020 election, not people that listen to this show, not people who follow this stuff, a lot of people had no idea. Joe Biden hid in his basement. When he did go out, he stood up in front of 50 cars in a parking lot. Occasionally people would honk when they thought he said something that was good. I still maintain the theory that That's people dozing off and their head hitting the steering wheel, if I'm being quite honest. But this is the reality that we had in the 2020 election. Trump says, we didn't even talk about these things. We didn't talk about opening the border. You wouldn't let me, Chris Wallace. And did you hear, by the way, the crowd's reaction to that? Make no mistake, that was them thumbing their nose at Fox News in general. Folks are not happy in the conservative movement with Fox News. That's why many people have flocked to Newsmax, OAN, other news outlets anyway. But this is Biden's preferred way of dealing with governance. The left's preferred way is through executive order. Actually, their preferred way is through the courts. If they can have the court declare something to be constitutional or unconstitutional, it prevents them from even having to have one person as president of the United States to issue an executive order against it. But they definitely don't want to run in 2022 on this radical agenda. But folks, they're going to have to. They're going to have to, and it is going to be a political bloodbath. Metaphorically. Don't want anyone out there to think that we're calling for riots or sending coded messages for someone to do something violently here. This is political speech and debate and the exchange of ideas, but this record is going to be tough to run on here in 2 years. But I've got to take a break. Log in the segment. You're listening to Conservative Not Bitter Talk. I am your host, Todd Huff, back here in just a minute.
Like what you hear on Todd's show? Why not get more by signing up for Todd's free Semi-Sweet Morsels of Truth newsletter? To subscribe, visit toddhuffshow.com/subscribe or text HUFF to 31996.
Have you seen the price of custom cabinetry and countertops lately? If you're looking for quality, affordable remodels, call Carriage House Woodworking. Our helpful professionals will walk you through every step of the process. We're offering a free sink base with qualifying purchases. Just enter CHWEINC.com/Todd or call 317-406-3042. Call Carriage House Woodworking. You won't have to spend your kids' inheritance just to upgrade your kitchen.
Would you like to save 20% or more on your insurance? Let AIA and Avon do a free comparison for you. As an independent agent, we can find savings that fit your needs and budget. We work for you, not the insurance companies. Whether your insurance need is big or small, give AIA a call, 317-718-1747, or find out what we can do for you at AIA4lowrates.com.
I want to get one more season out of my furnace or air conditioner. Have you or someone you know ever made that statement? Economy heating, air conditioning, and plumbing has heard it a lot. Did you know that furnaces and air conditioners are most likely to break down when they're under stress? That means during the hottest and coldest months of the year, like those months quickly approaching us. With winter on the horizon, now is the time to replace that old rickety unit. With 0% financing for up to 72 months and up to $600 in instant rebates, now is the time to buy. Doing great work is Economy's priority, and the satisfaction of their customers is their number one goal, guaranteed. Make your home comfortable this winter. Contact Economy Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing today by calling 317-831-5279. Or visit them at economyheatingandair.com. Are your health insurance premiums making you sick? There is a cure. With the Pro-Life Health Plan, your savings could be as much as 60%. The Pro-Life Health Plan allows you to enjoy the freedom of choosing any doctor, any hospital, anywhere. And their enrollment is open year-round. Just give Eric a call at 888-448-5370 or visit them online at iCellHealth.com. Better coverage at a better cost.
All your life, you've planned and taken care of the people you love. They always knew you had a plan. Taking care of your final wishes will give them one final gift. Buying your headstones direct through Thomas Monument saves your loved ones additional stress during a difficult time and saves money by cutting out the middleman. Call 317-244-6525 or go online to thomasmonument.com to understand why families have trusted us since 1962.
Family owned since 1973, Edwards Equipment at 1375 East Main Street in Danville is ready to meet your equipment needs by selling, renting, and servicing several makes and models of lightweight residential or heavy-duty commercial equipment. We carry and service top-name brands like Ferris, Kubota, Steel, Gravely, Honda Power, Land Pride, and more. Visit edwardstractor.com or call 317-745-6427 to check out our clearance specials today. At Edwards Equipment, we don't just sell you any piece of equipment, we sell you the right piece of equipment.
Welcome back. There's so many things I want to get to in Trump's speech, but again, this is only, we don't have endless time here. But one of the things I wanted to get to that I alluded to earlier was this discussion, and I think this is maybe an overlooked, generally speaking, advantage. There's so many, it's maybe hard to keep count, but an overlooked advantage of the Trump administration over a Biden administration, or candidly over most other administrations, are the negotiating abilities and just how stupid some of the things this country has done and is now doing again, just how stupid those things are. This is Trump talking about the Iran deal and about the Paris Climate Accords, if we can get to that part in the clip as well. But this is, I want to see 4 years of this. I want to see 4 years of President Trump in real time criticizing how stupid, with insider knowledge, examples, just someone who's been there can say, this is why this is really stupid. I think that this would expose some of the things to some of the people. Here's President Trump doing just that.
The new administration unilaterally withdrew our crippling sanctions on Iran, foolishly giving away all of America's leverage before negotiations have even begun. Leave the sanctions, negotiate. Does anybody understand what I'm saying here? Are there any good business people? You don't have to be a good. Are there any bad business people? They took off the sanctions. They took off the sanctions. They say, well, we're going to not have any sanctions. Let's negotiate a deal. I don't know, Matt Schlapp. I don't think you would have done that. Do you think so, Matt? I don't think so. Mercedes wouldn't have. No, you do that, you make a deal, and then you do it. They wanted, I will tell you something, and I said it. Had we had a fair election, the results would have been much different, and we would have had a deal. We would have had a deal with Iran within the first week. They wanted those sanctions off. He took them off for nothing, for nothing. Now you watch how tough they negotiate. In another horrendous surrender, he agreed to get back into the World Health Organization for approximately $500 million a year, which is what we were paying. When I withdrew from the WHO, and you know the whole story with that, they called it badly. They really are puppets for China. They called and they wanted us to stay in. I said, how much are we paying? Approximately $500 million. How much is China paying? A much larger in terms of population country. Sir, they're paying $39 million. I said, why are we paying $500 million and they're paying $39? I could tell you why. Because the people that made the deal are stupid. That's why. So, and I had no idea how popular it was. I didn't even know if I would be able to politically, because people were so happy when I did get out. But I said, so if we went in, we could get it for $39 million, which is what China, not $500 million, which is what we were stupidly paying. And they said, we can make a deal. We want you to go in. We can make a deal. Okay, and I decided not to do it. We could have had it for $39. We could have had it for the same.
And now Biden's going for $500 million is the point. Gotta go. Long in the segment. So Ty, come back and wrap up. You're listening to Conservative Not Bitter Talk. I'm your host, Todd Huff. Back in just a minute.
Stay on top of the nonsense our colleges are subjecting students to today by listening to Todd's monthly interview series with Matt Lamb, assistant editor of The College Fix. Listen at toddhuffshow.com/college. Brought to you by Apprentice University. With so many societal changes, everyone's talking about apprenticeships and college debt. Businesses seek employees with practical problem-solving skills. Visit apprentice.university to learn about our demanding academics and paid apprenticeships in excess of tuition. No debt, in-demand skills, Christian community.
Hunting, fishing, bows, guns, ammo, safes, and more. The Outdoorsman Sports Shop in Greenwood has all the gear you need for your outdoor experience. We have a huge selection of brands that other shops don't carry, and a friendly, knowledgeable staff ready to answer all your outdoor adventure questions. At Outdoorsman Sports Shop in Greenwood, you can even hone your archery skills at our indoor shooting range. Find us online at outdoorsmansportshop.com. So get outdoors, but bring the right gear.
What if your bank treated you like a person instead of an account number? What if you could sit across from the person you are opening an account with or requesting a loan from and have an actual conversation? You may be thinking, Todd, that's crazy talk. Well, not at Citizens Bank. Come visit them in Monrovia and meet Nick Gibson, their new branch manager, and the rest of their staff. Or give them a call at 317-831-0110. Citizens Bank is an equal housing lender and member FDIC.
Geothermal tax credits are back, making this the perfect time to install a new Climate Master geothermal system. Take advantage of this limited time 26% tax credit and begin cutting your heating and cooling bills immediately. Visit indianageothermal.com/info to get your free Climate Master information kit or call 317-829-1490. Visit indianageothermal.com/info or call 317-829-1490. Geothermal, it's cheaper than you think.
Wallace Construction is a family-owned business with 45 years' experience in asphalt, concrete, and seal coating. At Wallace Construction, our wide variety of experience and top-notch customer service have helped us build a strong reputation in central Indiana. But we don't rest on that reputation. We build it, one job at a time. If you have an upcoming project, call us at 317-422-5356. That's Wallace Construction, 317-422-5356, and ask for Richard or Roger.
Are you tired of manually opening the gate every time you pull in the drive, especially during the freezing cold, pouring rain, or hot, humid weather? Then Gatekeeper Services has your solution. They offer affordable residential and commercial motorized units for your gated properties. Veteran-owned with over 50 years' experience in motorized gate sales and repairs on any make or model, and with numerous entry control options, Gatekeeper Services takes pride being certified in both automated gate system design and operator installation. Simplify your life today by calling 317-714-4061.
Healthcare is expensive and complicated. Did you know that as a Christian business owner, it is possible to provide access to affordable health benefits for your employees? Remodel Health has helped employers across the United States save over $22 million in the past 3 years. Our innovative approach allows your employees to have the health benefits they need at a cost you can afford. Go to remodelhealth.com/Todd to help your employees find the healthcare they deserve. Remodel Health. Rethink employee health benefits.
Our word can't be diluted because we are taught that a promise is a commitment in which you always follow through. No ifs, ands, or buts. So every time you walk through Greg Hubler Chevrolet doors, you can count on the advice and expertise we provide you. Because when we make a promise, we keep it. Greg Hubler Chevrolet. Promise kept. Visit GregHublerChevy.com. Find new roads.
Yeah, I'm hoping to have 4 years of this. 4 years of President Trump basically riding alongside with what is happening in this nation through this administration, through the Senate, through the House. Hopefully there's 2 years in the House and Senate with Republicans hopefully being able to regain majorities in those. But for two years of this, 4 years of this, until Trump possibly may run again, him exposing in real time just how stupid the things are that we are being treated to by this administration and by the radical left. I love this speech. It demonstrates all the reasons that folks desire a President Donald J. Trump. But I've got to go. I've got to wrap up. Thank you so much for listening. Have a great day. SDG. See you tomorrow. Take care.
As a listener of this program, I have no doubt that you embrace the value of hard work, honesty, and integrity. And when you have the opportunity to work with a company that fully embraces and shares these values, I'm sure you jump at it. Economy Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing is just that type of company in Central Indiana. Jeff and Jod Woods have a team of professional technicians here to help tune up your furnace or install a quality new train system. And they're also here to fix those nasty plumbing problems that seem to happen at the absolute worst time. So the next time you have a plumbing, heating, or cooling need, give the good folks at Economy Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing a call. Call 317-831-5279. That's 317-831-5279. Or visit economyheatingandair.com.
If you own a rental property, you know the hassles of marketing, renting, collecting, and the handling of maintenance and repairs. One call to Zuluscape can put an end to your property management headaches. Zuluscape has over 20 years of experience helping landlords throughout Central Indiana and taking the stress out of owning a rental. From A to Z, let Zuluscape handle it all so you can enjoy owning a rental instead of hating being a landlord. Give us a call at 317-663-8485 or visit our website at Zuluscape.com.